This person, in an attempt to make the Biden administration look horrendous, says this and follows it up. So hang on. They say Sears went bankrupt. Over 1,000 advanced autos are closing this year, announced in 2024. The last of the Macy's closed, and Party World, I think he meant Party City, declared bankruptcy. Red Lobster declared bankruptcy. Don't know about you, but that's literally hundreds of thousands of middle-class jobs gone. To say turning our economy around is just a plain lie, but keep believing what Dems tell you. Okay, let's break this down. You went into Sears, Advanced Auto, Macy's, Party City, and Red Lobster. Let's take a look at this. Right off the bat, you look like a total fucking jackass because Sears filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy on October 15, 2018, under the Trump administration. Now let's move on to Advanced Auto Parts. Here you see Advanced Auto Parts is closing more than 700 stores in 2025. Advanced Auto Parts is closing more than 700 locations to shore up the company's finances following another dismal earning report, CNN Business. Advanced Auto Parts said its closures outlined for 2025 will enable the business to standardize its store operating model, improve labor productivity, and acceleration in pace of new store openings. The retailer also plans to open 60 Market Hub locations by mid-2027 to streamline supply chain and distribution. Now, for those of you who are maybe a little slow on the uptake, that last part, the retailer also plans to open 60 Market Hub locations by mid-2027 to streamline supply chain and distribution. That's because more people are having shit shipped to their house. The top part here is to cut back on their costs, not because they're going under. Then you mentioned Macy's. And yes, Macy's did file for bankruptcy protection all the way back in 92 and has been going through all of that. And they are slated to close 150 stores across the country by 2026. More Macy's stores are continuing to close their doors for good. As announced last year, Macy's department stores across the United States have been closing as part of a wider plan to shut down 150 locations through 2026. Last year, Macy's shuttered 50 locations. In 2025, the company is planning to close 66 stores in total. Macy's previously described the stores set to be shuttered as unproductive locations. In a statement from early last year, the department store chain said it was shifting its focus to what the company is calling a bold new chapter strategy that will focus on investing in the remaining 350 locations. The plan also includes opening a new Bloomingdale's location and Bloomingdale's locations and Blue Mercury stores, which are Macy's luxury brands. They're cutting back on the underperforming lower class and middle class stores and focusing on the luxury stuff. Closing any store is never easy, but as part of our bold new chapter strategy, we are closing underproductive Macy's stores to allow us to focus our resources and prioritize investments in our go-forward stores where customers are already responding positively to better product offerings and elevated service. Once again, they're not going under. They're retooling to adapt to the changing markets and increase their bottom lines. The closures have been an ongoing process for Macy's for nearly a decade. Since 2015, the department store chain has closed hundreds of stores, including 45 Macy's locations in 2021 and 28 in 2020. This has been going on for a decade, so they can reinvest into the areas that make them more money. It's almost like you didn't research any of this shit. Let's move on to Party City. Party City to close all stores in bankruptcy. About 14 months after emerging from Chapter 11, the retailer found itself in bankruptcy court once again. This time, it's liquidating. Now, here's a case where you do have a company that is liquidating. Party City, once the leader in the celebration space, is going out of business. The company in October of 2023 emerged from bankruptcy, shedding nearly $1 billion in debt. Then CEO Brad Weston commented on the bright future that lies ahead for PCHI. After exiting bankruptcy, the company took efforts aimed at creating a more efficient and profitable business, including optimizing its inventory, initiating layoffs, updating its retail pricing methodology, and exiting its manufacturing business to instead focus on retail and wholesale. In the 14 months since emerging from bankruptcy, however, Party City was faced with industry-wide challenges, including inflation, a pullback in discretionary spending, shifting consumer preferences, and contracting margins. Deborah Rieger Paganis, Party City Chief Restructuring Officer, and Alex Partners Managing Director, said in court documents Sunday. Party City has faced competition as specialty pop-up stores like Spirit Halloween have expanded and mass merchants like Target and Amazon have increased their party offerings, according to Global Managing Director Neil Saunders. We didn't stop buying this shit. We just stopped buying it from them. We're buying it from other places that'll ship it directly to our front door. That's what happened to Party City. While Party City previously pulled itself out of bankruptcy the first time around, its continued failure was likely inevitable, he said by mail. A downsizing in demand for party products has continued to put pressure on the business. Much of this is down to two factors: increased competition and more constrained consumer. Lastly, you talked about Red Lobster. Red Lobster is exiting Chapter 11 bankruptcy after a federal judge on Thursday announced the second seafood restaurant chain's plan to rebound from the endless shrimp fiasco, massive debt, dozens of location closures, and overall decline in guests. Why did Red Lobster file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy? Red Lobster filed for bankruptcy on May 19th after closing dozens of locations and announcing that the chain intended to drop operational improvements by simplifying the business. Documents later filed in the Middle District of Florida revealed that the bankruptcy was due to significant debt, a carousel of CEOs, and an all-you-can-eat shrimp debacle, and a 30% drop in guests since 2019. Translation? They had their head up their ass, and people were sick of going there. They got themselves way overextended in debt. They couldn't land a CEO that they could keep in place, and they offered all-you-could-eat shrimp, and we went in and ate the fuck out of it. How did any of that land at Biden's feet? I'll wait.